the youngest team to ever win it. So they got that going for them.
It's now a weird spot where I'm going to have to really flip-flop. I'm now a big Halliburton guy. Let's go. Yes, sirs. Yes, sirs.
You're just eliminating the Knicks, huh? They're
done?
done?
They're not going to win 3 in a row.
Okay.
Playing a 4-man lineup. Brunson's been terrible. Get the dribble. Timothy Chalamet has no power. That series is over.
Chalamet.
Gas damn. The series is over, okay? Bing bong, go home.
This one, a couple numbers from our buddy Keith Smith at Spot Track, who we've had on the show. Oklahoma City Thunder in the 2020 finals, 2 players over the age of 30. 14 of their 15 players are on team control until 2026, 2027. Their number 12 pick that you mentioned, Topic, he's healthy next year. He couldn't play this year.
Okay.
15th and 24th pick in the 2025 NBA draft.
Yes, this year in the draft, they have 2 picks in the top 24.
They have 10 potential additional first-round picks through 2031.
That they do.
And the Thunder and Indiana Pacers would be the first finals since the luxury tax was in effect where neither team was a taxpayer. At least one team was a taxpayer in every finals where the luxury tax was in effect.
Yeah.
02 and 05 did not have luxury taxes due to the lack of negotiating with their CBA stuff. Overall, 26 of the 44 teams in the NBA Finals since the luxury tax was in effect have been taxpayers. 16 of the 22 champions since the luxury tax was in effect have been taxpayers.
I really don't want to use it, and it is hard to do at times in this medium where you get caught up in the moment, and then you look back and you think, it was kind of a dumb thing to say at the time, right? I am getting very, very close, and I know that they're still 4 wins away. Maybe the Pacers, maybe the Knicks, maybe somebody upsets them in the NBA Finals. They will be the heavy favorite. That much I know. Still being 4 wins away and now making it to the NBA Finals, watching how easily they dispatched the Minnesota Timberwolves, in which the vast majority of the series was not competitive. Game 1 was a blowout. Game 2 was a blowout. Game 5 was a blowout. Game 4 was really the only competitive one, and then they got killed, obviously, in Game 3. But 3 of their 4 wins were in such dominant fashion. I'm having a really hard time not using the dynasty word and being a little terrified of what's to come. We have enjoyed this era of parity in the NBA. 7 consecutive years now, we will have a different champion. That has never happened in the history of the sport. But looking at how young they are and how they have the ability to essentially retain everybody of value for the next 2 to 3 years, like I don't know about 5 years from now, but at least in this short-term window, how does somebody get on, if they do this to Indiana or, in your example, New York, with an upset coming back, if they do this to them in the NBA Finals, how does somebody get on that level in the offseason? I have a really hard time going there mentally of seeing somebody.
Is Giannis with a healthy Wemby and a De'Aaron Fox in San Antonio? I mean, that's gotta be a threat, right?
That's a threat.
That's a lot of length. That's a lot
threat.
of skill.
Yeah, it's a threat.
I don't know if the
you got 2 guys who Wemby is. How healthy is he going to be? And you can do the health game with everybody.
I know.
And Giannis has been banged up a lot at the end of seasons here recently, the last handful of years in Milwaukee. So that would be my fear there. And he's getting older. But yeah,
Houston with Giannis. I think there are scenarios where it's all about matchups, really. I actually think the Pacers are a fun matchup for them. I don't know if that series is going to go longer than 5 games, but I think when you think about the Pacers, you've got tall point guard, tall 3 guard, rangy 2 guards. You got length, Turner. Like, they do make an interesting matchup for Oklahoma City Thunder. You want to know a fun fact?
What do you got?
This is actually the most depressing stat of all the stats.
I'm already pretty depressed, so go ahead. Keep piling on.
I got more for you, buddy, because we got to get to him before we talk with Colin Wilson coming up here at the bottom of the hour. This one from Mannix.
Yeah.
Do you know that the Thunder only lost 1 time against the Eastern Conference this year?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
And it was 1 game against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I
think they lost by 4.
The other best team in the NBA.
They beat everybody else in the East. They never lost anybody in the East. And that's the other part of this, has to be the West to take them down, because right now it doesn't feel like the East is going to be able to. But again, I will allow the Pacers the opportunity. I'm curious to see the matchups, how they play them. They're athletic, they're rangy, and so we'll see what that matchup ends up being once we get to that point.
I will be rooting hard for the Indiana Pacers.
I think a lot of people will be, but also I'm conflicted here. I'll be honest with you. I'm one of those weirdo kids. I had no sports loving adult in my house. So when the Blazers were good, I rooted for the Blazers. But I loved Gary Payton and I loved Sean Kemp. So I rooted for the Sonics too. And when I'd watch them play, I'd just sit there and be like, this is great.
This is cool, man.
Sean Kemp.
He's dunking on everybody. Gary Payton's talking trash.
And you would know this as much as anybody. I was devastated when they left to Oklahoma City. And so I've always been I want the Sonics back. I think it'd be great for the Northwest. I hate that franchise. I hate them. And yet I watch this team play and I'm like, I don't think I hate the team. It's a weird position I'm in here.
Sure.
I don't even know if I'm really rooting against them, and I hate saying that out loud because they're such a good team.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
This is a coach's dream, coaching a team like
There's
this.
No doubt.
Selfless, egoless players. So in 2019-18, we blew them up. Dame hits the shot. Yep. Bye-bye.
Paul George says, sure, I'll go play with Kawhi in L.A., and they get that haul for SGA.
So they make that trade. So SGA comes over in the 1920 season. Okay? They went and signed, if your memory serves, Chris Paul. They bring in Chris Paul. Chris Paul comes in, veteran guy, him, a young Lou Dort, a baby SGA. Here we go. They lose in the first round of the playoffs. I believe it was to the Rockets that year. After that, Paul leaves, and now we're handing the reins to SGA. Let this kid learn, let him grow. No playoffs, 22 wins. No playoffs, 24 wins. No playoffs, but from 24 to 40. Blazers.
Big jump.
That is growth. 24 to 40. Okay? Then they add some stuff. They become a juggernaut last year. They win 57 games. It's a 17-game increase in 1 year.
Number one seed.
Lose in the second round. First year in the playoffs as a group, and we're like, I don't know if they can do it. I don't know if I trust them. Let's trade everybody. They don't. They sign a couple guys. They get Caruso in a trade. They sign Hartenstein. They go back. They run it. 68 wins. Best team in basketball. Ticket punched. Second year running in the playoffs. This is not only unprecedented from an age standpoint, it is unprecedented because what you saw Ant Edwards go through again is the norm. This is not the norm. You don't lose one time, and then the second year in it, you're the youngest team ever, and you win it.
Yeah.
They are in uncharted territory. I don't blame anybody for using the D word.
I'm scared, man. I'm going to admit to you. I'm scared. I'm scared about the next couple of years and how it's going to look in the NBA.
We will see if they can win the championship.
Sure. Your Giannis stuff is totally fair and valid that maybe he goes somewhere and that changes the balance of power in the Western Conference, or maybe he goes to a loaded Eastern Conference team. I don't know what his offseason looks like. That's the one thing that I will put out there that maybe can disrupt this, but it's fearful because this is not going anywhere from a financial standpoint and a talent standpoint. Sans injuries in the next 3 years.
Here is SGA on his favorite moments. This is with SVP on SportsCenter's favorite moment of the playoffs.
The best days are like the days in between the competition, the days when we're like on the road together, just chilling, the days when we're at home and we go over to someone's house and watch the game, like the days when we just build camaraderie, the days when we just enjoy each other's company. Those are the best days. Those are the days that nobody sees, that don't, I guess, get on the forefront. But those are the days that we cherish, the days that we really enjoy each other. And they've helped us be the team that we are. So those type of days for sure.
That is the Urban Magic Johnson Western Conference MVP talking there in SGA.
We got a name for the conference finals MVP trophies now?
We do.
I did not see the end of the game. I missed that.
You're damn right we do.
Okay. Who's the Eastern Conference one?
Is it Larry Bird?
It's either Bird or Dr. J, maybe.
Let me look it up.
I don't
Eastern
know.
Conference.
Yeah, they like
Magic
MVP trophy.
Because the Finals MVP trophy is now named after Bill Russell.
Yes, that I knew. That I remembered. But I did not know we had one for the conference
Bird.
finals.
Basketball Brandon.
There
Boy,
you
he's
go.
having a moment, isn't he?
Bird and Magic, huh?
I think you need to bow down to your overlord, Basketball Brandon. I told you, Thunder Juggernaut.
Look, here's what I will say. The other thing that I've learned throughout the rest of the playoffs, you know who's really good at basketball? Jokic. Because he had this, he forced his team to a game seven.
Isn't that crazy?
And they were in the game seven until basically 2 minutes to go in the first half. That was a back and forth game. That's how good Jokic is. That his powers are almost good enough to knock him
You
out.
watch. This team's going to get SGA to not take the $380 million extension. He's going to opt into like a 200 flat. Jalen Williams going to take a pay. Like, watch all of these guys just take a pay cut and say, no, we'd rather win 5. We're going to be like, look, cool, man. They're just going to keep running this back every single year. And I know there can be growth with your team. Getting to the playoffs, for example, would be great for Portland. I want what they had. They hit
what-
the finals in 2012. They
Had an MVP after that.
They
were
got
in the
real
conference
close.
finals.
Like they're God, and then they blow it up. They restart. They blow it up again. They suck. They get back up. They got debatably the best general manager in basketball.
They
I'll give
do.
him that crown. He's just unbelievable what he's done, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous watching them play.
The petty
Sucks.
in me will root adamantly against them. I don't have anything personally against anybody on their team other than Chet. His elbows freak me out, so I don't really like him. And you know how I feel, I guess, about SGA and his foul hunting. I hate them with the core of my being, and it's a primary response of jealousy. I am incredibly jealous. I want nice things, and the last time we were relevant in the playoffs, we spawned what might be the next dynasty in the NBA. So that's a really cool feather in our cap that we get to celebrate first-round playoff victories, and they might go on to win 3 straight NBA titles.
Hang the banner. We
Hang-
gave them a title.
Hey,
Kind of champions. Kind of co-created.
that sounds like a kind of banner we would hang.
We'll get into a little bit more of that. We got Pacers, Knicks as a close.